doing, dude?
Give me sandpaper.
Hurry the fuck up. You don't need to keep walking back and forth in front of the camera, man.
Give me sandpaper. I'm not going to.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. What was that? Hold on a minute. Do what?
So I'm grabbing the whole bottle.
That's better. Thank you. Since you ain't been here in 3 fucking weeks. I'm partying and whatever the fuck else you do. Yeah, I know. Sick from what? Alright, how y'all doing out? Excuse me? Okay. You want to go ahead and tell everybody your story? I'll just wait until you're done. No, go ahead. Go ahead. What happened, bud? What's your angle today?
I was talking to you.
So you haven't been here in 3 weeks or a month because why?
It hasn't been that long.
It's been pretty long.
It has not.
It started out with an earache and it turned into the flu, and what else?
No, I really didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry, you were going to go to Canada. Did you ever make it?
I'm still going.
You are? That was yesterday.
I'm still going.
Yesterday was the 11th.
Yeah, I know.
You were supposed to go on a private jet plane to Canada yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
But you didn't make it yet.
Yeah, because they tried to send me to Oklahoma City.
What do you mean, Oklahoma City?
They tried to send me.
What has that got to do with fucking Canada? I don't understand.
Because I was going to Canada for work, dude.
I thought you were going up there to hang out. What's on your neck?
I wasn't going there to hang out.
Alright, there's something on his neck. It looks like a cockroach or something that he forgot to get off when he was asleep last night.
There ain't nothing.
Let's look at your neck.
There ain't nothing on my neck. There ain't nothing on there.
What is it?
There ain't nothing on
What
there.
is it? Huh?
Some sandpaper.
Is it a leech bite?
Hell yeah.
A leech? You know what a leech is?
Yeah.
Bloodsucker? Is that what a leech is? Sucks blood? Yeah. What the fuck's going on with that?
I don't know, dude.
Huh. Keep fucking saying it, 903 fuck!
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Okay, so we're back on our center console, and we put extensive work into the center console. A lot more fucking work than I expected to put into it, but we're at the point now that the fiberglassing is done. Let's go ahead and look at the center console and see where I'm at and what we need to do next. So if we look at the very front of our center console right here, we're going to see that it almost looks like the fiberglass, but it's not fiberglass. What we're using now, we have transitioned ourselves into the Dynaglass section of doing this. And you can also see here is the Dynaglass dust that I've taken off using my cheese grater. So, without explaining to you what this is and how it works, we're going to go ahead and we got a section right here we got to fill in. This was that map pocket or whatever it was when they were fiberglass in, and the fiberglass shrunk down and sagged on us. So we got to fill that spot in. And then there's a couple other spots that we're going to go ahead and fill in using Bondo. And then once we get done doing that, then we're going to go to the next stage. So what is Dynaglass, my friend Pete? What is it? And this is what we're talking about right here. This is Dynaglass. Now, you can purchase this at a place and get it for half the price than your paint and body shop, and that place is called Home Depot. I'm not advertising for Home Depot. I'm telling you, the viewer, and trying to save you money where the fuck to get it. All right, now what this is made out of, this is made out of fiberglass strands and Bondo mixed together. Very strong filler, and that's basically what it is, a filler only. This is not a finish coat, and it's made for filling big, giant gaps, holes, this, that, and the other. Now this, if you read all this down in here, it's going to tell you that this is made for rust repair too. No, it's not. This is not made for rust repair. This is just made for if you want to fill in a big dent, or possibly our front section like it was caved in right here, okay, just to help you get down the line. And when I say big dent, I'm talking you don't want to fill something in that's 4 inches deep, all right, that would be stupid, all right, because eventually it's going to crack. There's another product on the line if you're working with metal, which is this product right here. Now what this is actually an invention that somebody made, and it's actually a liquid metal, and you use fiberglass hardener. This is a resin hardener to mix with this, and then you would fill it in. A lot of people think that this is the cure to fixing rust, this, that, and the other, and filling big dents in. It's not. This is the worst thing that you can use. Do not purchase this. Do not buy it, and do not use it on anything This stuff here turns, when it's dry, it is as hard as a rock. Just a little tap like that will shatter it and crack it. The reason that I bought this, I'm going to tell you right now, is because I am making a video on this product to show you, the viewer. I spent my money on this 1 quart of this all metal. There's another one called Alumatech, and there's other various items that are just like it that claim this is the extreme body filler. This is not. This is nothing. It's junk. Throw it away in the trash. Do not purchase this, and you don't want to miss the video of this when I get around to making it. Right now, we're not making it. But this is not a filler of any type, sort whatsoever. Do not use this. Throw it in the trash. Don't let anybody talk you into buying this. This is junk. So if you are going to go to the expense and labor to literally fix your rust, don't use the all metal. Use this. There's a lot of people out there that can't afford to cut and weld, chop, and you know, fabricate. And there's a lot of people out there, they're looking for quick paint jobs. They might want to do it at home. They're really not interested in making a show car out of their car, this, that, and the other. So if you do have some rust, minor rust, and you want to fix it and let it last for 5, 6, 7 years, use the Dynaglass. Don't use the all metal. Stay away from all metal. It's junk. But right now, we are using our Dynaglass as a filler to fill in our low spots on our center console. So I've already done this right here, and I've already cheese grated it. What we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through the steps of the next procedure that we're going to take on building our custom center console. And I'm going to be honest with you, this thing has really turned out to be a fucking nightmare. I've been working on this thing for how long?
Like 2, 3 weeks.
About a fucking month. You've been gone for 2 or 3 weeks. How the fuck do you know?
I remember when you had it right here in the middle.
Yeah, and it was a bitch.
Yeah, and we were fiberglass.
Yeah, it was a fucking bitch, dude. A fucking bitch.
Yeah, it was.
So, you just heard it from the tech guy, Darren, the tech man of SWRNC, and what he says, yeah, you can believe it. Right. Okay, yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up some Dynaglass. I'm going to show you how to do that. And we're going to fill this spot in here, and I'm going to show you how to level it all out and make it nice and smooth by using a cheese grater. I'm going to show you how to use that. Hey Darren, give me a paint stick. A paint stick. Technical fucking assistance guy that you are. Huh? What, technical assistant? So you're not a technical assistant?
I said I am.
Okay.
What you gotta say like?
I just said technical fucking assistant guy. What the fuck? You gonna get all fucking technical on me? Motherfucker. You know, we're talking about Dynaglass, we're talking about metal, we're talking about rust repair. Speaking of that, we got a door over here that goes to our 69 Mustang. We're gonna go ahead and show you that because I actually used some Dynaglass on that. Now, if we look down in this corner right here, we're gonna see that there's a problem here. Technical fucking assistant, look at that gap.
Yeah, I see
Need to sand that down and get it out of there.
I'm gonna get that shit.
Okay? That's what you call override. We went a little too far with it, so it's got a... Okay, that needs to be sanded down. That's not a hole, that's just an override where the hole was actually right here and down here. So if we look at this, what you're going to see is this is our Dynaglass that we use now. I went ahead and cut this out and welded it up, but then it left low spots and very bad imperfections in it. And if this was the outside of the door, we would have done it a little bit different. But being on the inside, on the very bottom corner, you can see that's going to be the far corner you'll never see. I went ahead and I took my Dynaglass and filled that in. I also noticed that this door's dented right here. Should we go ahead and fix that for the customer, even though you'll never ever see it in your whole life?
Yeah.
Possibly we will. I just noticed that. I didn't even see it. So we'll probably use our Dynaglass to fill that in. What are you thinking about that? Take our Dynaglass, fill that dent in, smooth it down, and bam, it's done. So Dynaglass is a good thing to use around the shop for big jobs. And let me stress to you, it is not a finish coat, it is a filler coat. It's made for filling only. So don't rely on Dyna-Glass to do any type of finish coat for you, because you're going to have a million pinholes in it and it's going to look like shit. So we're going to go ahead and open our Dyna-Glass up, just like so. And when you see it, you're going to want to mix that up, because you can see that it needs mixed up. So we're going to take our stick. Now when you do this, try not to stir it. That's just going to create more air pockets in it. You're going to want to lift it up just like this. Lift it up, push it down. That's all you got to do. Lift it up, push it down. Grab it, push. Grab, pull, push. Grab, pull, push. Once you see that it's a nice creamy substance and it's all uniform, you're pretty much done mixing it up. Don't stir it up, because when you stir Bondo, that creates air pockets. We don't want to create any air pockets in our Bondo. That's just going to really fuck things up. But in reality, does it really fuck it up, or is that just a myth? My personal opinion, I think it's a myth, because by the time you actually mix the Bondo with your Bondo spreader, all the air pockets are gone. So mix the fucking shit up any way you want. Just make sure the fucker's mixed. Once we get it mixed up, we're going to go ahead and get our Bondo out of the can, our Dyna-Glass, and we're going to overmix it. And when I say overmix it, we're going to mix more than we really need, because we really want to fill this up and make sure that it's filled properly. There's other ways to get it out of the can. I'm sure someone's going to leave a comment that says, "Hey, you're fucking up there. You're getting Bondo all over the edge of the can." But you know, that's how everybody is. Everybody's different, and this is how I do it, and that's how we're going to do it. So, you know, I use a lot of it here, and it goes pretty quick. Once we get the Dyna-Glass down on our pallet, we're going to go ahead and use our hardener. Now, when you mix your hardener up, don't go by the directions. You want to go by the temperature. If it's hot out, use less hardener. If it's cold out, use more hardener. But don't use too much, because then you'll override it with hardener and it won't ever cure. But you got to get that feel of how much we should use and how much not. That's just a feel situation on, you know, how you are going to do it. You know, everybody's different. Now I like to use the red hardener with the Dyna-Glass, because it'll turn to a brown color. If you use the blue hardener, it usually stays green and you can't tell that it's thoroughly mixed. So that's another thing you might want to consider when using the Dyna-Glass, is to use the red hardener with it and not the blue hardener like we did up in the front. So once it's all mixed together, the next thing we're going to do, and you're going to find that the consistency of this is very thick, and it's all going to want to move with you. It's not like Bondo, but it is like Bondo. We're going to take a little bit here, and we're going to fill that in. We're going to be careful not to fill it in over the edge, and we're just going to concentrate on one little area here. And you can see that I'm really putting it on strong. We're just going to build it up just like this. We're going to override it, make it taller and bigger than it should be. And we're also going to concentrate on feathering the edges out as well. You can see me doing that right here. And you just want to keep working with it until it gets filled up. You're not going to be able to do it in one coat. Don't even try, because it's not going to work. It's going to take a couple coats to actually do it, especially on something like this where it's already sagging on us because it's going downhill. So you just got to work with it and do the best you can and be done with it. And then on the front of it right here, there was a few low spots, so I'm going to go ahead and put one more coat on here, just like this. And once again, this does not go on like Bondo. If you pull it like Bondo, it's not going to work properly. So don't try to pull it like it's Bondo. You got to just lightly stretch it out and kind of pull it lightly instead of actually spread it. You're just pulling it. Dyna-Glass can be a helpful hand, and it can also be a mess. So remember that. And I want to tell everybody out there, this is a very extensive video set of doing this. And there's actually another YouTube channel out there that I'd like everybody to check out. While I'm spraying this, I'm going to go ahead and mention his name. It's called Sprayway Customs. I believe that's it. If that's not it, look down in the description of the video or right here at the bottom of in this video description here. That guy really knows his shit about this. I've watched several of his videos, and he's going to be an upcoming YouTuber. Watch and see, because he really knows what he's doing. Very honest guy. I don't even know his name, but he is an exceptional person, and really shows you how to do this. I like his videos, and I'm hoping that you'll go watch his when you're done watching this. And then as we bring it back over here to the side, you're watching this and you're seeing it sag on us, and we don't want it to sag. We want to keep it uniform, and we want to make sure that we are feathering our edges out as well. I'm overriding it, I'm making it bigger on purpose, and you're going to have a low spot. It's going to take you a couple times to fill in your spot. You're not going to be able to do it in one sling. So remember that. And if you notice, I'm just barely dragging it. I'm just barely dragging it along and getting it where I want it. So we'll let that dry for a few minutes, checking it periodically, and once it's at the right setting, all right, that's another thing about doing this. It's got to be at the right setting. Once it's at the right setting, we're going to go ahead and take our cheese grater, and we're going to start cheese grating that down. To do this properly, you got to catch it just at the right setting. And when I say setting, it's like in between soft and hard, because if you do it when it's too soft, it's going to pull it all off, and it's going to clog up your cheese grater. And if you do it when it's too hard, it won't do nothing. So we're just going to touch it like this, and I see that it's starting to dry now. It's not leaving anything on my finger, so we'll just wait a few seconds and see what happens. Okay, our Fiberglass is starting to harden up now. I want to go over our cheese grater. This is a little palm cheese grater you can buy at your local big box fucking hardware store, and you can also buy replacements blades for it. And you always want your pattern to go forward, okay? So this would be the front, this is the back, and then you can see the blades are going toward the front. Always make those go toward the front. The way that I hold it is just like this right here. I put my first finger on the top front, and then I grab it like this, all right? Very nice controllable tool. They sell cheese graters in many, many kinds and shapes. This is the one that I found to be the most useful one. Let me show you some other ones here while we're waiting. All right, I got plenty of them. There's another one, another one. So here's our flat cheese grater right here, body cheese grater. And then we got a cheese grater that has a curve on it. All right, you can see that curve right there. And then we got this long paddle grater. This is a paddle cheese grater. Very, very good item to use. And then also we got this one here for very tight quarters and small stuff. So yeah, very, very nice tools to have. Cheese graters are the way to go when you're dealing with stuff like this, especially Fiberglass. Now this can be on, all right, it's almost hard. This can be used on bodywork, metalwork, or fiberglass. So always invest in some very good cheese graters. Cheese graters are handy items to have, and will work very, very well in something that you need to do the right way. Okay, I see that it is a rubbery feel when I touch it. It feels kind of rubbery. That's still not good enough. Let's go ahead and check it, and I'm going to show you. Okay, so when I cheese grate it, all right, I'm just doing it very lightly. It's at a rubbery stage right now, and you want to go ahead and cheese grate it very easily, as not to pull it off of the item you're working on. You see what I'm talking about? Look how that ripped off by the edge of that catching. So it's still a little bit on the soft side. Let's wait a few seconds and see what happens. Another way you can tell is when you do this to it and it sticks together in a ball, all right, or it just depletes. What you want it nice and dry, and where it's going to flake apart real simple. If it starts sticking to your cheese grater, it's too soft. Do Do you see how I'm holding my cheese grater? Very important. And now you can see we're getting a good consistency out of it. It's flaking out and falling apart very good, and I like it. Now, if you don't catch it in time to actually cheese grate it out, you'll have to rely on your DA sander and 36 grit sandpaper. And the drier it gets, the harder you'll have to push, just to let you know. Then we'll come up to the front and we'll repeat our process. And I notice that it's really dry up here now, but that's okay. It's not dry enough where we have to sand it. I can still use my cheese grater. But once again, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. And that's really starting to take shape really nice. I'm really liking it. And now you can see how nice that looks. It's got a nice crown on it and it feels the same. This is a little bit sharper over here. Go ahead and cheese grate that down, get a little bit more rounder. It's kind of a feel and touch situation, but it's worth every penny to take your time. And this is what you call Fiberglass 101. Just like that. Bam. It's a done fucking deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the whole console. I'm going to treat it with Fiberglass just like I did here. I'm going to find all my low spots, and then once we do that, we're going to come back and we're going to go to the next step of finishing out our custom center console that you're looking at right here. Get that right there. There's a low spot. High spot right here. There we go. Okay. Much better, much better. Okay, I've contacted the owner of the car, and he has informed me that he is not going to have this painted. He doesn't want me to paint it. He's going to have it covered in material, which is actually good for us. Because when you cover these in material, you don't have to put the final layer of Bondo, you might say, to protect it. So that's actually good for us that he's not doing that. And what the fuck just happened here? Something just fucking happened here. Okay, we'll worry about that in a minute. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to block all this out with 36, get it all smoothed out, get all the imperfections around the edges cleaned up. That's what I was doing here. I was taking a razor blade. If you remember right, remember we had tape covering all this so we wouldn't get tape in here. Well, now that we got that off, now we can go ahead and clean these edges up and get them presentable and ready to be covered with material. Now, if he wanted this painted, if he wanted to go ahead and just paint this, then what we'd have to do is go to the next step, which we're not going to do. But basically what you would do is you would go ahead and either put some spray-on Bondo on this, make your own spray-on Bondo with fiberglass resin, Bondo hardener, and fiberglass resin hardener, and then you can either spray that on with the proper gun, or you can brush it on with a throwaway brush and then let it flow out. And then we would went ahead and block sanded it out completely, and then it would have been possibly ready for paint. So you can see that doing this type of work is a lot of work, and if you see anybody doing this or you watch any other videos of it on the internet of people doing it, have respect and at least give them a thumbs up, because I'm going to tell you, this is a lot of work to make one of these. I've probably got 3.5 weeks in it, off and on probably a month, to be honest with you, and I'm tired of fucking with it. I just want to get it done. It's dragged out. This type of job does not pay any fucking money, doesn't pay for what it really takes, and anybody that does these or makes these is going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. For the time and the labor that you have into this and the materials does not even pay to do it. So have respect when you see people doing this, and at least comment that it was a nice fucking job they did. So if you look right here, this is where we basically modified the console, and then we fiberglassed the whole thing and molded the fiberglass in. And this is the culprit right here. This is the situation. This is where our shifter goes, if you remember correctly. And then this would slide down in here like this. If I can get it down in there, it's a very tight fit, but it will go. You just gotta fuck with it. There it is. And then that would cover right there. I did have to trim after I fiberglass this, I did have to trim the plastic up on the edges right here to get it to go in. I don't want to snap it in place because we're not done with it yet. But yeah, it fits in there tight. I like the way that fits. This area right here, he could put a clock in there if he wants. He could put a couple little boost gauges or whatever right in this area. It's going to have a nice frame area right in this area, so it'll all mold together. Remember, this was a fucking console out of a Camaro. The console didn't do this. The console went straight, and then the dash was right here, so it went up into the dash, and then we had to make all this right here, if you remember correctly. Big fucking job going on. And like I said, what I'm doing now is I'm finishing up on cleaning around the edges where I fiberglassed it. We do have a little bit of a mess right here. The tape is underneath the fiberglass. I don't want to pull it up, because if I do, it might pull up the fiberglass that we have here. So we just got to chip it away and work at it to get it done. I've been taking my 36 grit. Now I got a block right here, and then of course I've been doing it by hand, rounding off all the corners, cleaning all the edges, and getting everything uniform, and making sure that this area right in here is the same on both sides as we look at it. And I think that all I got to do now is go ahead and clean the edges up on the bottom right here, all the way around, and then we're ready to go ahead and put this in primer. All right, the final step that we need to do to our center console is we need to go ahead and prime it. Now, I'm using a real thick, heavy Y2K primer. That's a filler primer with a hardener in it, so it won't shrink back. And I'm going to go ahead and say it one more time. If you're going to paint that product, this is not the stage that you will stop out. The stage that you will stop out is you will have to go ahead and cover your console or speaker cabinet or whatever you got with some sprayable Bondo, some homemade Bondo, Bondo Rio fiberglass shit, or you're going to have to just spread it out with Evercoat and Bondo to block sand it down and keep doing it until you got it right. The owner's going to go ahead and cover this with material. I think it's going to be badass. Let's go ahead and prime it. Get this fucking thing done. I'm tired of fucking working on it. Very, very extensive, long job, and pain in the fucking ass. Get it all primed up. I put 3 full wet coats of primer on it. That's all this center console is going to need, because it's going to be covered with material, and they're going to go ahead and put some closed cell foam on it, very thin foam on it to give it a padding, and then they'll put the material on it. But I want to show you, because you can really see it now that it's in primer. This is not paint ready. All right, this is why you need to put that last finish coat on it and make sure that all these pinholes are filled in. If you're going to cover it with material, this is good enough and you don't need to go any farther. So we'll go ahead and hopefully get this on here without breaking our shifter. That's the main thing on this deal. Very, very tricky situation. But I'm excited and I want to see what this center console is going to look like all together. So, alright, there's our console. I'm going to push it up to where it goes, which is right there, just like that. And then, of course, that would screw down onto there. Then we'll go ahead and get the shifter out of the way. We'll slide this in here like this, because this is just a temporary test fit going on here. We're having a little bit of a problem on this edge. There we go. Remember I told you that's a tight fit. There it is. Okay. And then that's going to snap down on that, just like that. And I think our center console's installed. So just to get a quick gander at it, you can see the center console came out really, really nice. We went ahead and temporarily installed our dash so we could go ahead and get everything lined up. But you can see how it wraps around really clean over here. We left enough room, ample room on the bottom for our carpet and our padding to fit underneath it. So once we put our center console in, it'll be a nice flush mount situation. And then over here on the driver's side, same deal. We left enough room right here so we can put our seat belts back in place. But once that carpet's down, this thing's going to look really, really nice in here. You can see what we're talking about now about the shifter, how it fits in there just right. He's got his little space right there. It looks like the center console is floating in the car. And it really, really came out nice, and I'm really happy about it. So, yeah. A lot of work, but well worth it. Got our shifter, it all works, everything's locking in place, everything's working. And yeah, it's going to look good. We got us a lighter slot over here. You can see that. That's the lighter. And then on this particular center console, there's actually a USB port that's wired into it. And we'll probably go ahead and use that, possibly maybe put it up here. And then when he puts his stereo in or whatever he's going to do, he can have a USB port for his stereo system. But yeah, the center console came out nice. And it really, really turned out good, and I'm a happy camper. And the main reason I'm happy is that I didn't give up on it. I didn't quit. I didn't throw it in the trash and start over. I kept at it, and I kept at it, and I kept at it until I got it done, and I did it right. This took almost a month to complete. Very big fucking job doing this. Very extensive and intense. And I'm telling you, you can do this if you want. Go for it. Do what you got to do. Learn from my mistakes. I'm not the leader of the situation. I'm just the teacher. And create what comes out of your mind into reality. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, telling you and showing you you can do this at home with regular hand tools, nothing fancy. Make sure you check out Sprayway Customs. Check him out. Awesome guy, knows what he's doing. He's going to show you how to do this better than my friend Pete is. And it's going to fucking all work out great. See you.